All right, Mr. Segun Odegbami joins us live on the program. He's a 1980 AFCON winner, former Super Eagles captain, former Nigerian international. Thank you so much, Mr. Odegbami, for agreeing to talk to us on the program. Yesterday was your birthday. You turned 74 yesterday. So
who told you so?
We are journalists.
Please stop announcing what is not politically correct.
I wonder if that's your football age, Mr. Odegbami.
Yes, that's my football age.
All right. Happy birthday in arrears, sir. It's such a pleasure to have you join us here on the program. So Nigerians have been trying to recover and wonder what exactly is playing out with this sector, the sporting sector, particularly football, which appears to be the only thing that unifies Nigeria, whether it's northern Nigeria or southern Nigeria. Football is the only thing that brings us together. But for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, consecutively, back-to-back, we have missed out on the global stage, the FIFA World Cup, which is the biggest tournament in football. And then the Super Falcons of Nigeria, who for 10 times have brought some sort of glory and joy. They've missed out on the World Cup as well, you know, for the first time, I think I can't remember how long now. But we hear that the NFF president, Ibrahim Goso, has resigned, his secretary, as general secretary as well, which is very, very strange. I wonder what you make of what is playing out in the NFF.
Thank you very much again for having me. The situation really is that in the past almost 30 years or so, we have tied ourselves into a knot. So over time, it has become so difficult to untie the knots and understand the different moving parts in what makes up the football match that you see on the football field. The end product is the failure that you have seen at different levels, you know, in our football. But the core of it is that we are in a knot. Very few people understand how we got to this point and how to untie ourselves from it. So that's the problem. We have removed, one way or the other, the people on the board, and we might as well just say, look, let's get a new set to go on, but we'll get the same results. So what we really need to do is for everybody to have an understanding, because football is a sport that everybody is an expert. Everybody has an answer, and everybody is right. But you see, there is the answer, which is not clear to everybody. If you ask government now, what should we do next? We have removed the people you said have failed. There are very few people that have the answers. And the answer lies in unknotting this complicated situation that we have that is not making things clear, so that everybody can have a clear idea of what we need to do to move forward. So that's where we are right now. We have cleared that small issue, but then what do we do next?
Speaking of which, sir, the NFF boss said in his statement yesterday that he was leaving football better than he met it. And, you know, he's made some form of achievement prior, you know, to his resignation. What do you make of that statement against the backdrop of what should be done next?
Well, I'm sure he believes what he says. And if you look at the issues that he's talking about, yes, he has achieved some level of success. But as far as the man on the street is concerned, if your team does not win on the field of football, you have lost. That is the only measure for success or failure of a sport like football. You have to have a production line, a seamless production line, so that every year, as Brazil has done, they have always gone to the World Cup. So that you have a system where, as in England, you don't hear every 4 years that they are quarreling over becoming president or not becoming president. You don't hear of people going to court. You don't hear of so many issues. You don't even hear of the most basic one, which is that of NFF. NFF itself is not recognized in Nigerian law. There's a subsisting court judgment that has not been vacated up till now. It has been there for almost 10 years. That says that the NFF is an illegal body. It is the NFA that exists. And there's something in a name. Between the NFF and the NFA, there's a whole lot in just naming it one or the other. Because if you say NFF, it is something political that is like an association of associations, of the state association. If you say NFA, it is not an association of the state associations. So, but these are, little details that will be clearer when we now lay everything bare. We untie everything, and everybody sits down and sees all the different components. And you can call the president, and he will understand what the issues are. We can call you on radio. You understand what the issues are. Everybody would understand. But right now, nobody understands anything. It is all so complicated that you said he came and said that he succeeded. Yes, he succeeded. But in the eyes of Nigerians, he is a failure. So what do we do? That's the big question.
Yes, it's quite a wonder. I don't know whether success or effort is what it's talking about. In fact, there are two issues I want you to speak to. I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, there was a contract with the Nike, I think for about 11 years, signed by Odegbami for, let me call it a miserly $500,000. Is it per year? I think he talked about reviewing that contract with another company altogether. The reason I had to bring that before my main question is the fact that what is playing out at the football house, is it partly because persons like you and those who are the real practitioners, on-field practitioners who represented the country at different points, are not really involved as you should be involved? Just, I don't know what to call these other gentlemen, whether they are administrators. Does that have a role to play in how we're seeing the football industry, if you will, play out in our country?
Absolutely. You said it all. We are presenting, in terms of administration, our third 11. Everybody is in the system. We are all in the system. But you see, there are different levels of it. There are primary constituencies, there are secondary constituencies, there are honorary constituencies, there are affiliates in the system. But everybody is lumped up, so you don't know who is important, who is who. Everybody has an answer. So you cannot succeed that way. You need to put the people who are experts in their different fields to come and work in the areas in football where they can excel. You want to set up a marketing committee, for example, and you go and bring somebody who has no background in marketing to come and help you manage such a complex issue as Nike contract with Nigeria over a period of time. That is what we are seeing. You have a technical committee where you don't have former footballers who have become coaches, who have trained and all of that, who can analyze games to head the technical committee. Instead, you put a politician, and so on and so forth. So when you have that kind of composition in the leadership structure of your organization, of course, you will end up never getting the best out of it. So what we need to do is, look, get the right people into the right positions. All of us know it, and we know that it is not the right people that are in those positions presently. So that's not what we need to sort out.
Well, Mr. Odegbami, maybe two questions in one. Mr. President has had to wade in. He has directed some sort of reforms. Are you optimistic about the directives from the presidency? And then question two, Mr. Faniamu, who was asked to chair a fact-finding committee recently and made some sort of investigations into the activities of the NFF. He made some very strong allegations. He said the NFF board members, when they go for tournaments and competitions, their extra code or full allowances are paid in full, while the players themselves and the coaching staff most times receive very little. I wonder what you make of that revelation.
Well, I'm sure you don't expect me to go into such an issue, on television. I cannot confirm, I cannot deny, I cannot say anything about it. But in terms of the president's directive that there should be reforms, of course, that's what he has been told, that the problem is that there's need for reformation somewhere in the system. And he has given that responsibility to the agency responsible, which is the National Sports Commission. So the National Sports Commission, yes, must now do the reform. That's what I'm talking about. We must sit down, they must get a group of experts to sit down and start to untie the knots We've knotted ourselves into it. If you ask the chairman of the National Sports Commission today what the problems are, he will reel them out for you. You ask the DG, he will reel them out for you. You ask me, I will reel them out for you. Look at all the details. You will find that they are all different. We all have different answers. So we need to sit down and get the right people, experts in different fields, to look at where we are coming from, where we got it wrong, where do we want to go. We are in a new world presently. Things have changed, things have developed. We have to catch up. So we get them, sit down. It won't take long. Over a period of 2 weeks, 3, even 1 month, you would have the answers. And every single Nigerian, if you really break it down, the way an engineer will break down a problem, every Nigerian will understand at the end of it what the problems were, where we are now, and where we are going. And you carry everybody along. And you will now find that within a very short time, my prediction is that
Well, would have loved to know what that prediction would be, especially as it has to do with Nigerian football. Will things change subsequently without a structure? And the concern, that our approach towards international tournaments is always, last minute assembling international players to, come together in camp just a month to the international tournament. And can we look at really the performance of the federation independently of the performance of the Sports Commission itself? That would be, an interesting poser for the ex-international and former Super Eagles captain to answer as well. Guys, I'm sure you would have thoughts on that as well. We've had the board one by one begin to turning their resignation. But can we look at the performance of the board independent of the Sports Commission, which is the superintending commission over sports administration in Nigeria?
I was particularly surprised that they resigned, not because because the way the FIFA is a governing body of football, they are very strict with interference. So when the security agencies swooped in, investigations about mismanagement of funds, I was a bit concerned on how FIFA, as a matter of fact, I don't know. I stand to be corrected, but I don't know whether FIFA has actually reacted to this, or CAF itself has actually even reacted to what is playing out in Nigerian football, because they are very, very careful not to have any political interference. But the results are there to speak for themselves. I don't know what result means by being successful. I can't remember. How long has he been in charge now? Is he up to 2 years?
I think it should be more than.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what it means by success. What is success? Success is we're able to go to tournaments. That's success number one. Then how far we go to those tournaments is success number two. So if we didn't achieve that, I don't know what it means. But the veteran, I understand, is back. So you can continue with your thoughts as we begin to wrap up, sir.
Well, I'm sorry for that power, in my village here in Wasimi. So as I was saying, I'm talking about the reforms. So all of us will have different answers to that problem. So we need to
Oh my God.
His village people are back. According to him.
He even called them out.
His village people mean him. They don't mean well for him, but that's mathematical Odegbami, veteran. I don't know whether Bukola was born when he played football.
Were you born when he played football?
I was born the year he played football. He won the AFCON. That was 98. Yeah, I don't hide my age, so
I'm glad you mentioned that.
No, you were not. You were far away. Don't even go there. You were very far. So
Jeffrey's dropping age for us this morning. Well, I'm not going to get into that conversation, but we must. Go ahead, Kelly.
I mean, we have to anchor at this point. Again, happy birthday to Mr. Odegbami. Thank you indeed. 1980 AFCON winner. He's also the former Super Eagles captain, former Nigerian international. I was going to also reveal that just this morning at 74, he did some sort of workout. That's a big challenge to some of us who do not exercise.